That's fast. That's so fast. Rod bearing damage. Alright, we're going to go full send mode. It's a long walk back. Over here on the salt flats of Pepper Valley. Welcome back to another episode. What we're doing today, at least we're going to start off with cop till you drop. We're going to do as much cop work as we can. This might be a huge compilation of cop arrests or crashes or AI on AI violence. So let's get started with that, and then I have some really exciting stuff this episode. Alright, we will be Officer Blue today, and unfortunately I just remembered we still have police turned off, so we're going to run with what we have. This is going to be just us doing this. It looks like we're going to have to advance the time a little bit as well, as it's early morning, so there's not a lot of cars out. So let's do those changes and get going. Romer's running. Oh, we collected that immediately. Hopefully we'll just get the money for it. Okay. Good money. More damage. Oh my gosh. What was that? Our door. Suspect had a collision. Guess we can't really hurt us wrecking it a little more. There we go. He's not going anywhere. Alright, $6 grand. It's good money. Hard on the brakes. Okay, we caught up pretty quickly. Oh, that's the end of that. Perfect. So we have this dent in our car just to stop him, just like that. It's perfect. Go ahead. Oh, our front wheel just totally collapsed. Oh no. Oh, Sumper's right there. We can have some help from the AI. We're just going to have to go for our shot here. Got him. Yep, he's done. I didn't even realize that was a sunburst in front of us. I don't know if we can do another pursuit. Our front wheel is just hanging on by the strut. Fortunately, I think that is the drop of this cop. We did good. Let's go ahead and put this back and get started with the episode. It's finally time to make that vehicle purchase I've been wanting to make for honestly seasons now. Please introduce, or let me reintroduce, Searoy, our Civetta bull-eyed stick shift drag car, heavily inspired by Leroy. As you guys know, I love Cletus McFarlane and his channel and all his drag builds that he does. And Leroy the Savage is probably one of the best. He's been in kind of the headlines lately on the internet drama and whatnot. And I kind of, there's no better time to bring out a Searoy, and especially a Searoy 2.0. We're gonna rebuild this car. This comes all the way back from season 3 when we built this. I think it started out as a gift for Shift Tab. We ended up giving it to him, and then the seasons restarted, and it just, I never had the money to buy him back and make another one for myself. And so we're gonna take the original Searoy here and turn it into a 2.0 version. But first, I do have some bad news. We corrupted our save last time. I say we, more like me. I ended up trying to mod some things, and I was using it as a test bed, and unfortunately all the org level stuff got broken. So I went ahead and kind of canned it, started over, so we lost all of our levels. I did get the money back, and we do have Deborah back. However, Deborah is not tuned, doesn't have the drag tires on. Basically all progress on Deborah was lost. So we're kind of at a restart there for Deborah. I think what we're going to do is go ahead and get Searoy to the track, see what he does in his kind of current version, his old version, and then let's just work on him today. Let's get him built up. Then at the very end of the episode, I'm going to have a really fun surprise for you guys. So let's get this back to Chinatown. All right, we are back at Chinatown. We ended up just having to tow it because this is not really a road legal car. Now, current fleet update, we only have Searoy and we only have Deborah. We got rid of LeGrand James during the loss of the last save as well. We did go ahead and buy the Chinatown Overflow, so we do have 4 current vehicle slots. However, I don't want to spend any more money on anything outside of these 2 cars. And so what we're going to do is we're going to get Deborah out. We're going to change up the rear end so we can get a tow hitch on it. Then we're going to go rent a trailer, come back, pick up Searoy, head to the track, do a pass, and go from there. So let's get Deborah out. Here is Deborah back on her street tires. Still a very aggressive idle. lots of supercharged surge. Let's go ahead and pick up that loaner trailer. So something we've added in this last beta update is the ability to loan out more vehicles, and especially trailers. So if you visit the different organizations, you'll notice there's lots of different opportunities to make money without actually buying some of the, without really investing into vehicles. So that way you don't have to buy a big semi-truck, maybe you can rent one out, or same with a pickup truck. Basically, delivery stuff and car jockeys is now more accessible than ever, as well as material deliveries like dump truck stuff or cement truck or water liquid material deliveries. Those are all much more accessible. But let me know what we should do with Deborah here. Obviously, we love the idle. It's a little tricky to drive on the street, but super fun car to have in the fleet. I think we go with a bigger supercharger. I think if we already lost all the progress we had before, we just put a big big supercharger on there and kind of see what it will do with that. I don't really want to turn this into some kind of pro car. Oh, excuse us. I don't want to turn it into some kind of pro car or anything crazy over the top. I just want it to be a cool looking vehicle that's fun to drive, and not really fun to drive, more of just an experience to drive. In order to rent out a trailer, you need to go to Rent-A-Box. This is currently the only location to rent out any trailers. So we're going to turn it into here. Just like any other rental, you pull into the delivery access spot. You're going to see a few different things we can rent. We have a rental van we can rent, other cargo trailers that have cargo boxes already with them, so you can just jump right into some bigger cargo stuff. We're going to go ahead and get the 22-foot bumper pull. It's the only flat deck that we can really get. And then we'll go ahead and attach it. Now obviously we have the power to haul this trailer. Hopefully the suspension also cooperates. It's not too bad. Definitely not your most conventional car hauler here. Let's just safely get to Chinatown and pick up C-Roy and hit the track. Whoa, almost hit that Corvette. That was scary. This feels really weird in this camera view to be so kind of far back. I mean, it's normal for other truck and trailer driving. Maybe it's just been a while since I've hauled a trailer. Might have just curbed our wheel there. Let's go ahead and load up C-Roy. This is gonna be a tighter fit than I thought. I don't think we're gonna be able to squeeze through here. Maybe with the trailer? There's no chance. Nope. If you were dead on, maybe. Oh, what'd I hit? Oh, shoot. We are in a pickle. Give me a second to fix this. Really don't want to hit Deborah's front end. There we go. Okay, let's maybe back this all the way out. Oh man, it's surging so much. We're gonna have to back our way in.
5 hours later.
We have a very special cargo we are going to be putting on this trailer. I'm so excited for this. This is something I've been wanting to do for so many seasons, really since the beginning of the year. As soon as I gave it the shift tab, I was like, I gotta get another one back. Now, obviously, this is very different than a stripped-down roll-cage Corvette. It's kind of doing the best we can with what we have. So this is still a Civetta engine, basically all the body parts taken off minus the roll cage. But now there are so many different mods. I'm really excited to see what we can build next with it. Now, first gear I made super low, so it's kind of almost a crawling gear. It's just to get around the pits. That way we don't end up stalling a lot. We just kind of dump the clutch, and in first gear it's so tall or short, however you say it. We can just idle our way around. We should be able to idle our way mostly up the ramp. We'll give it a little gas. Here we go. Look at that. Look at this group of cars we have. C-Roy, Deborah. We didn't really park C-Roy super straight, but that's okay. Hopefully it doesn't shift around too much. So we have a little bit of a traffic jam. Burn out up the hill, sure. Oh, okay, somehow, oh, I forgot, so no. Let me pull over here and show you something. So, super exciting, there was an update to the tire thermals. However, I forgot about the tire thermal update, and what it really does, it's basically, if you get on throttle and get your temperatures really up there, it will completely flatten your tires so quick and fast. Let me find it. There we go. Yeah, see, our other rear is already down to 34%. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave the trailer here. We gotta get that fixed. I forgot, this car will do a burnout so fast. Are we still stuck on the trailer? We shouldn't. There we go. So the new tire thermal update is really good for road racing and things like that. Another fix it has is it doesn't pop your tires that are on the trailer. So now we can tow our cars better. It's sliding, it's moving. I don't want to damage Deborah to stop it. Hopefully it just kind of goes into the curb a little bit. How is there not brakes on that thing? Okay, perfect. Okay. I'm sure that will still be there when we get back. So the tire thermal update is really cool. It allows for us to tow vehicles again. So basically it used to be that if you towed a vehicle, you still got tire wear for the cars that were on the trailer. That is no longer a thing. There's also a few changes where the tire thermals are more, I don't know if more aggressive is the right word, more impactful, which I love. However, it's a little tuned up too much. I know they're working on it to maybe change it up a little bit because this car will pop its tires so fast. We did burnout testing with it, and I think it popped its tires within, I want to say like 3 seconds. Let me show you. Let me go ahead and adjust the tune. This should kind of fix some things. Actually, we'll just do a quick repair. Private repair instant. We have free tire changes. I'll hop on here. Now watch the tire thermals there in the back. As I do probably a pretty big burnout. We'll do a second gear burnout here off the trans brake. It just eats the tires. There it is. So I know it's something they are working on. Really love the tire thermal update. It makes a whole new dynamic to it. I forgot I even had the mod enabled because I turned off the UI. So let's get some more fresh tires on this and then head to the drag strip and really be conscious of our tires. We do not want to spin our tires much. Alright, on the road again. We got 3/4 of a tank. That should be plenty. This car is on methanol, which uses fuel really fast. So definitely not the ideal tool for the job here. There is a C-Roy on the trailer still. We're actually kind of lucky that the loaner system didn't say, hey, you aren't near the loaner vehicle, you probably don't need this, because the loaner vehicle will auto-return. Oh, that was close. There we go. And now we're going to back up a little bit, get off that plant box without hitting our own car with it. Alright, off to the drag strip. Approaching the track now, we got a nice long tunnel here. Now some people honk in tunnels, some people rev. I do a massive burnout, at least if I'm in a video game, so let's go and send it here. Oh my gosh, okay, nope, not sending it here. We just lost 50% of our tire. Oh my gosh. Okay, I had hoped to do more of a burnout. Next time, when the tire thermals get fixed, we'll go back to doing burnouts. Alright, we have made it. Let's go ahead and hop on out and get C-Roy off the trailer. I do want to look into purchasing the drag tent here. I can't remember how much it cost. It would be definitely a purchase that is going to be worth it. It will be well utilized. Probably didn't need to buy Chinatown Overhaul. Probably didn't need to buy the Chinatown extra storage, unfortunately, but that's alright. We'll keep it as well. I'm sure we're going to get enough cars to fill it up. Let's get C-Roy off the trailer. Make sure we jump just in case. We gotta make sure we get in the car, not the trailer. That was the trailer. Let's try again. Alright, we're in C-Roy. Let it coast off the trailer. No need to go crazy with it. I just love this. I love the little radiator scoop in the front too. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the lanes. To go out this way. Now, the pit tuning lanes is free. It's kind of a free garage you can purchase. It's just here for tuning. You can do a few other things like loans and car meets, but just tuning. Let's do a quick recap of the tune. Let's see, looks like we have a RPM limit of 8,500, 30 pounds of boost, not by gear, so that's going to be even 30 pounds in first gear, so that's going to be kind of tough. We've got an anti-roll bar we can work with, and then just tire pressure. I don't really mess with tire grip. I don't like to do that. but I guess it's there if we need it. Let's go ahead and do a pass just as it is. I think we're gonna leave in second, and then it is a sequential, which is, I mean, it's still manual. It's kind of the same, a little different, but I'm pretty sure a lot of stick shift cars are actually sequentials. So, or at least close to them. So let's go ahead and get into the lanes, do a little burnout, nothing crazy, and see what she'll do, or he'll do, whatever it is. What is that Bastion doing? He's trying to drag race. Okay, nope. All right, we gotta full send this. All right, it's a burnout. Let's go ahead and get us a good run here. I don't know. I don't think we should go off the two-step. I think we redline it. Let's redline it and see if she'll take, or he'll take. Is C-Roy a boy or girl? I don't know. Let's creep in. All right, we're in. Here we go. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, that was not it. Definitely have to leave off the two-step. All right, C-Roy. Let's see what he'll do. Oh, a little too far. Here we go, staged on the two-step. Got off the line, a little bit of bobble. Pretty quick though. 786 at 185, that's not bad. We're gonna have to move that UI at the top there. All right, back for our second pass. We're gonna leave in second, two-step, everything same as before, except this time we're gonna actually read the time slip. Remember, it only has 900 horsepower. Still a lot, but could be more. Pretty good launch. Alright, a 116 60 foot, not bad at all. A 796 at, again, 185 miles an hour. I think we can improve on this. I don't know if we go for a full overhaul of it. There's a different engine I want to try putting in. I think it'll be better. Kind of more Leroy inspired as well. And there's definitely something in the front end I want to try adding. So let's go ahead and get this back to the Chinatown garage and make some upgrades. I think we do that instead of buying this garage. We're not going to have the money to do both. We are back at the pit lanes with a brand new C-Roy 2.0. Check it out. So it's a bit different. We added some rear subframe support. I wanted to try to get some kind of spoiler on there. This kind of looks like it will do a bit of the job, so I think this will help. This also gives us the ability to have some wheelie bars, a parachute mount, some weights on the back if we need to do that. We did have as little weight as possible in the back because ultimately C-Roy is meant to be as light as possible. We added a race tab adjustable weight box in the front, which I think will be super helpful. As we saw earlier, C-Roy really likes to do wheelies, so if we get some weight up front, that can probably help. And ultimately, that's kind of it as far as the aesthetics go. We did change up our turbo system. We added some different turbos on it. So now the turbos are kind of tucked in. The intercoolers are right behind the engine, which probably isn't the best for intercoolers, but that's okay. I like the tucked in look. And ultimately, it does make a little bit more power. Now these turbos we can turn up to 35 PSI, but currently they're still at their 30 PSI. Finally, we did also add race tab methanol injection, so we should have some more power, some more adjustability with that, and hopefully not spin too much off the line or wheelie off the line. The methanol is kind of all or nothing power adder. So as of now, we're making 1300 horsepower, and I say we just run it exactly as it was before and go from there. Now I did want to do a Gavril engine adapter. That is an option from one of Philman's mods. Unfortunately though, it doesn't have any turbocharging system, and I really wanted to run turbochargers on this. I thought about doing a naturally aspirated V8. I think that would be pretty fun. We can use nitromethane instead of methanol and make pretty much the same amount of horsepower as a big supercharger or turbocharger system would work. However, it just didn't seem like it fit right, so maybe we'll revisit that idea another time. All right, at the line, creeping on in. There we go. Same run as before. Hopefully not too bad of a wheelie. Kind of a bad wheelie. Over torque risk, that's not good. Let's go and get out of it. So, could have gone a lot better. I didn't even think to look at engine blocks. We might need a new engine block for this. Gosh, I don't know. I don't want to go all the way back to the garage again. But we might have to, because there's no point in trying to add more power if we can't hold that kind of power. So let me take this back. Let's do some work on this. See what kind of block we have. See if there's a better block out there. If there isn't, we might just need to like make our own or something. Create our own block. Hopefully there's a better block out there. Now comes the expensive part of drag racing. We just spent about 18, 19 grand on another block. I don't know if this is even going to be better. It's called a Razo Racing Performance block. It's literally the most expensive on the market of blocks that we have with the current mods that we have. We're just going to do a little hit here. You know what I'll do actually? Let's try to test a few things. Let's turn down the two-step. Maybe like a 2500, nothing crazy. See if it'll take that. And if not, either way, we're going to try to kind of do a full pull, just go through the gears, make sure this block can handle what it needs to handle. Alright, lined up again. Oh, too far. There we go, we'll take it. Deep stage. Ooh, just as bad as before. Alright, so the block definitely handles it. Forgot to mention this block also gives us up to 1800 horsepower. This is still on 30 pounds of boost and only a 20% methanol injection shot per se. So a lot more to work on here. We need to make sure this thing stops wheeling. I say we throw some weight in the front. See if that will work. Ultimately, I'm not a real big suspension tuning guy when it comes to drag racing. I have some ideas, but I think with this, there's so many variables. I kind of want to just start getting A to B. Definitely want to start working the 60 foot, so we might just start doing 60 foot attempts and not do a full pass until we get the 60 foot right. All right, no big change here. We just went ahead and put about 200 pounds on the nose. So kind of a lot of weight, kind of an aggressive attempt here, but I really just want to start getting this car into the low 7s, even 6s if she'll do it, or he'll do it. Sorry, C-Roy. Let's go ahead and line up here. We are staged. Forgot to add the two-step. Put it in neutral. All right, two-step. Bring down the 3000 again. Now, track isn't waiting on anybody. Oh, it just went green again. Interesting. Okay, here we go. Better. Let's just see what that 6 foot was. It kind of stuttered a bit. 125. That's not terrible. We can do a lot better than that. I think it kind of bogged a bit, but it's still wheelied. That's tough. Okay, back at the track, we made some pretty big changes, but at the same time, not so big. So, went with a new exhaust system. Now they have these cool little flappy exhausts, which I absolutely love. Some people might disagree, but I think gives it a more brutal stance, a little more American, a little more muscle. Now, I have a new approach. So we went ahead and cranked up our methanol injection all the way. We went back to our old turbos, that way we can have these exhausts. Looks like it's popping on idle. That's kind of annoying. Maybe we'll try to deal with that. But we went with our old turbos, only making 30 psi of boost. So all in all, we were at 2100 horsepower. That is full tilt, the most we can do. Now my goal is to not run nitrous on this car, just because then I have to worry about filling up the bottle so much. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go practice launching again. We're going to practice under the best conditions where we have the most power on full tilt. Let's try to get the full power to go down as best as we can. And what we're going to do as well is continue to add weight in the front to try to get it to not wheelie. So we have a total of, I think, 600 pounds in the front, roughly 300 kilograms in the front. Let's see if that's enough to keep the nose down. I know we did add a lot of weight, but if we can just get the power down, it's about getting to the end of the track as fast as possible. All right, let's get pulled into the lanes here. I'm hoping to get a pretty decent launch out of this. We're gonna do a very simple 2700 horsepower, or sorry, 27 RPM, 2700 RPM, there we go. Two-step. I think we have too much poppage on the exhaust. Let's do a little launch here. I also want to make sure this engine will hold it. Interesting. Okay, so we're spinning through the clutch. That's not good. That's we might need to turn down the power. Dang it. Really hoping it'd hold all of that, all 2,000. It did launch all right. Maybe we go for a full launch and a full pull and see what it will do. Maybe go for a 3,000 RPM launch. All right, back in the lanes. Let's do an actual pull here. Keep that 2,700 RPM launch. Bit of a bog off the line. He absolutely smoked through the clutch, but we did get a 750. Geez, a 145 60 foot. That could be a lot better. Overall, I'm happy with that. That was an improvement. Let's try to take some power out, increase our two-step off the launch, and see how C-Roy does with that. All right, 3,200 RPM launch. We reduced our duty cycle on our injection system a bit. Here we go. Oh, hold on, two-step. Here we go. Definitely a lot of hops. Going through that clutch again, but we're doing better. A 731, a 129 60 foot, so that was a lot better. But I think we can, I don't know. We could mess with tire pressure. Maybe we increase our tire pressure. Let the wheels slip a little bit off the launch. That way it doesn't bog and hop so much. I'm okay with a little bit of chirp if it gets out of the hole. And then as far as the clutch issue goes, we're just gonna have to turn it down some more. Try not to go through the clutch. Alright, back to the lines. I tried to go back to the drawing board on making some changes to C-Roy. Nothing really is working. I think I might have to make a boost by gear mod, unless you guys already have one that works for the Bullide. Let's go ahead and do another pass. We increased our rear tire pressure, lowered our methanol. Hopefully it'll take the hit. We'll see. Oh, once again, forgot two-step. Oh, and now the clutch. Okay, alright. Let's just do... Oh my gosh. Fully staged. That's fast. That's so fast. Holy cow. A little bit of clutch slip at the end. 697. Holy cow. Make sure we stop in time. Oh, smoking the brakes. Wow. A 1058 60 foot. 210 miles an hour, 697. That's, I didn't expect to hit that jump. Everything finally came together. Holy cow. I cannot be happier with that run. Fuel light is on, so we do need to go get gas immediately if we want a chance at getting to the gas station in time. Well, that's fantastic. Wow. Okay, so that changed everything. I was really upset. I was really kind of like, oh, bummed, you know, I gotta mod this to turn it into what I really want. I think we leave C-Roy as he is now. We keep working on it from here. I think we do look into getting our own race tab transmissions going. Maybe do a full lineup of custom sequential transmissions that can hold a lot more power. Maybe we do a boost by gear. That would be nice to be able to control this a little bit better. But increasing that tire pressure just a little bit really allowed the tires to slip and really just made this work altogether. So that's awesome. Let's get some fuel on this, and then we're going to take Deborah over to a quick, cool surprise. A little fun surprise I wanted to share with you guys before it is really publicly announced or released or talked about. And, yeah, let's go do that. Real quick, before we head out, because we are going to change maps, we're going to go ahead and rent out C-Roy. He's worth over $300,000. That's going to rent out pretty good over at the Lens Flare Studios. And then we made some minor adjustments to Deborah here. We lengthened our final drive, so we should see some really high top speed if that's any hint about where we're going next. Let's go drop off C-Roy and get Deborah to the ferry. We have made it to the ferry, and I guess I can go ahead and talk about what we're doing next. So it's been in a very long development. This is a special map that I have worked on for a long time. It's been a little bit of a test bed for many little features and tools and fun things. And it's been probably one of the most requested maps for career mode, or at least asked about. And so finally, Pepper Valley is coming to career mode. Stay tuned if you're watching this the day this releases, because I think the next day we're going to be talking about it in a special live stream. Let's go ahead and travel there and see what kind of things there are. Now, we're not going to spend a ton of time here in Pepper Valley. I wanted to show you really just one really cool feature that's been added. In the live stream, we'll talk about everything else. But first thing you need to know is that when you spawn in, this is where you spawn in. And if you want to leave, it's the lane right next to me. I'm sure we're going to get so many questions on how do you leave Pepper Valley. You basically just go out the way you came in. Let's go ahead and get Deborah going, try to beat that van. So yeah, we are in Pepper Valley in career mode. Obviously got to work on some of this AI pathing because at some point they're like, wait, that's a dead end, we got to turn around. But after that, they are pretty smooth sailing. And there's tons of features that we're adding to Pepper Valley. A lot of FREs, going to be a lot of races and just general free roam events to do. There's going to be some deliveries, what I'm planning on. I'm not sure if it's going to make it out within the first release, the first beta. But one of the really cool things that we're going to go check out and visit is the Salt Flats, where you can do top speed runs for money. So I'm really excited for that. It's been a lot of fun testing that. And I think Deborah here is an excellent candidate for it because Deborah kind of isn't great at anything else other than having lots of power. So we're going to try to put down all that power with our skinny little tires at the Salt Flats. Oh my goodness. What's the... Why are we stopping? What was that all about? Okay, looks like there's really not much damage. Some misalignment of the fenders. Okay, very weird. But yeah, so Salt Flats. Really excited to do some top speed runs there, make some money. There is a little pits there you can buy as well. A little garage that does have a lot of opportunity and accessibility to do garage features. I think the one thing we took out of it was vehicle purchasing. You can't purchase vehicles at the Salt Flats. You got to bring your own vehicle there. But other than that, Pepper Valley is going to be a really fun experience. It's not going to be like Italy, where there's, there's a lot of, Italy is very delivery focused. Hiroshi Raceway is very race focused. Utah is kind of all-rounder, more off-road focused. And now Pepper Valley aims to be very much drift and top speed and crawling, FRE, motorsport focused again. So again, check out the live stream for all the latest details on all the different maps and modes we got going on. We, again, aim for everything to come to public release at some point, but everything has to start in a beta, and Pepper Valley is going to start in gold beta, just as Pepper Valley has always been in gold beta for the last, I don't know, year or so that has been being developed and worked on the side. So let's head over, let's get some gas before we go, because again, this is a methanol car, so we don't have a ton of gas. And hopefully we can also get a new radiator, because we are going to run out of coolant very fast. Go for the pass now. Oh, I forgot the tires. Oh, we popped the tires. That's going to be a problem. Okay, we're going to have to limp our way over to the Salt Flats, but we got to get gas first. This turned into a small disaster. $500, not too bad. Unfortunately, though, for our tires, we're just going to have to do with what we got. There's no other place to stop currently in Utah. There is the starter garage, which I don't really want to reveal yet. We could try to go all the way over there, repair the car, and then head over, but at this point, we're closer to the Salt Flats than anything else. So let's go try to do that, and then we'll get some new tires there. Okay, we've almost made it to the Salt Flats. Turning off the asphalt now onto the dirt road that leads us there, dirt little trail. Now, the most concerning thing we have to worry about is our tires spinning on the dirt. I don't know if it does a whole lot of damage to them. I don't really want to find out. So when we do our drive here, we're definitely going to be careful to not spin too much. And hopefully we'll get a pretty good speed run. Again, our final drive ratio is extended as far as possible. It's a 2-to-1. We could do transmission tuning, but I'm not sure if we're going to dedicate this car to be a top speed car. I do want to go for a land speed car. I think that'd be a lot of fun to build and definitely a fun challenge to try to conquer. And we also have to remember we do need to stop in time because there is a turnaround with a lot of signs that we don't want to run into. So here is the Salt Flats area. Nothing really is new here other than career compatibility stuff. This is the Salt Flats garage. Go ahead and see how much this costs. Keep in mind this is all still heavily in development. Looks like it's $115,000 for 2 car slots. I think that's pretty fair. Let's go ahead and buy that. I don't think that's going to change. I think we'll also go ahead and assign Deborah here. Go ahead and bring Deborah out, nice and freshened. And let's do a top speed run. Go and hop in here. So how top speed runs work here is that there are three, whoops, we didn't start. There are three effectively checkpoints that will give you readouts. The way the free roam event works is it's going to take your highest speed reached. So don't worry too much about when you reach it. As long as you reach your highest speed, that's what it's really paying out on. But it's fun to see how quickly you can get up to your top speed. So I think if we staged too fast. So this is the first staging area. This might change a little bit. It'll be hard to stage actually. Okay, we're staged. Now I think we can just go, and as soon as we cross these lines here, it will actually start. There we go, so we can roll right into it. Already in third, so we're just gonna go down a second, try to get that RPM up. We're really gonna watch our tire thermals here. We're starting to warm up a bit. We're approaching our first mile marker. Now this is using airspeed, not wheel speed, so we're only going 141 as far as airspeed goes. Tires are really warming up now. Definitely watching that. I think for the last mile we're gonna really crank on it, try to get the most we can out of it. If we get red tires, we're in trouble. Okay, a 182. Let's go for it here. Rod bearing damage. Alright, we're going to go full send mode. Tires are starting to degrade. Engine is losing power. Engine died out right at the end there. Our top speed throughout that was 197 miles an hour for $1,800. Not too bad. I think the kind of goal here is for a 200 mile an hour run. Again, Deborah was really not set up for this, but she did good trying her best. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. Let me know your thoughts on everything. What should we do with C-Roy next? What should we do with Deborah next? Are you excited for Pepper Valley? What do you want to see out of Pepper Valley? Hopefully we can get your feedback in and worked on and, I guess, heard before the releases of some of this stuff. So that's going to do it for now. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Guess it's a long walk back over here on the salt flats of Pepper Valley. All right, Shift Tab. Hopefully that's something. We'll talk about it. Bye.